He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig. Spider pig does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider pig. Spider pig, spider pig, does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from...
Money doesn't buy happiness. It buys crazy-ass happiness.
These are 10 crazy things about Eminem. And this first one will absolutely blow your mind. When he was 9, Eminem was in a coma for over a week. This dude used to get bullied badly. And in 1982, at only 9 years old, Eminem was hit in the head with a snowball that had a heavy object hidden inside.
They told me they gave up on my son. 4 doctors. In 4 days, 21 doctors.
He suffered from headaches, nightmares, and seizures for years after. Something that may have led to his severe depression and addiction.
You got beat up coming home from school.
Beat up in bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved in the lockers, just for the most part, man, just being the new kid.
Brain damage can also cause an aggressive streak, which might just explain old Slim Shady's sometimes violent lyrics. No matter what the results though, there's one thing for sure. which is how this all happened. With a rough childhood, Eminem was prone to be bullied again, which leads us to the snowball. A much larger student managed to corner him in a bathroom, at which point the snowball and the heavy object buried within it hit Marshall with full force. He was bleeding on the ground and wasn't found for hours.
When my son did not come out of the school, and the school denied it, they do that. And they denied anything about my baby laying in a pool of blood in the bathroom, and I found him laying there and running out to my van with him, with, the teachers and principals, Well, we had a skeletal crew, we didn't notice him missing. No one knew how long he'd been there.
At this point, his mother had to rush him to the hospital, where he went into a coma for 10 days. Every doctor who saw him, from the ER to the trauma center, didn't think he would make it, let alone ever be able to function properly. And look at him now, talk about a fighter, which gives him absolute bragging rights in any song when he talks about this. But situations like these made Eminem not so friendly to everyone, including some pretty famous rappers. Eminem has beef with Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, and even Kanye West? That's right, it's not just one or two people that Eminem has beef with. He's had problems with some of the biggest names in the rap game, including Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, and even Kanye West. This is something that might shock a lot of people, because they haven't been spoken about too much in the media. I mean, Eminem even used to have beef with his own mother.
He was spoiled rotten. Anything he wanted, I made sure that I'd take my last dime and get it for him.
Neglectful.
No.
Pill popping.
No.
Welfare collecting.
No. He needs to quit, making attacks on me. You don't do this to your mom. And it is so hard.
The Snoop Dogg beef started back before 2020, when Snoop Dogg failed to include Eminem in his list of top 10 rappers of all time.
White rappers had zero respect in rap. Let's keep that 1,000 out. Put Eminem in a position where he could be labeled as one of the top 10 rappers ever. I don't think so.
This didn't sit well with the Detroit native, and he went on to drop a few side-slanting disses towards Snoop, along with even releasing a diss track titled Zeus in response.
Every last thing I need is Snoop dogging me. Man, dog, you was like a damn god to me.
Beyond this, Eminem spoke about the Snoop Dogg beef on his Shade 45 radio station.
That caught me off guard because I'm like, yo, where is this coming from? I just saw you. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it threw me for a loop. Again, I probably could have got past the whole tone and everything, but it was the last statement when he said, as far as music I can live without, I can live without that shit. Now you're being disrespectful for, like, it just caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
We all know M isn't one to take any disrespect. Luckily though, these two goats were able to become friends again.
You know what I'm saying? And I apologize to him and I let him know. And I'm just bettering myself, you know what I'm saying? I make mistakes, I ain't perfect, I'm Snoop Dogg.
But as for the Jay-Z beef, it mainly started after he made some comments about the fact that no one could compete against him.
There's not a chance in hell that anyone can stand on that stage with me for I don't know how long it is, 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours.
This didn't sit well with Eminem, of course, as Jay-Z was basically dissing him by saying that. Admittedly, every rapper is gonna talk themselves up, but many fans and critics in the rap community saw this as being incredibly disrespectful, which is why it started such a firestorm. The beef between these men has been on and off ever since. It might be brewing into a future face-off, but one thing M has that other rappers don't is Grammy Awards.
Mr. Controversy, Eminem.
Eminem has won 13 Grammy Awards, making him one of the most highly awarded rappers of all time, and one of the most decorated musicians. He has also been nominated for a staggering amount of awards as well.
Eminem, Jeff Bass, and Luis Resto. Lyrics by Eminem.
Being one of the most controversial people in rap history, it's completely understandable that people are going to criticize his works. But at the same time, there's no denying his talent. This is something that even the Grammy Foundation has recognized, going on to award him with over a dozen awards during his impressively successful career. In fact, they even have honored him several times as being one of the best-selling artists of all time and one of the best-selling rap artists in history. But M isn't even proud of winning the most Grammys. The dude has publicly dissed the award committee because he thinks it's rigged.
The winner is Nora Jones.
Who?
And I'm not even trying to say anything bad about her music. I just, at that point, I had never heard of her. None of my friends did either. Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. I'm fine if I lose to fucking Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't fucking get us all here to use your selling point for your fucking show. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to fucking come here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I fucking go to the grave.
Having the most Grammys isn't the only records that Eminem has over the other rappers, though. And this next one is pretty impressive.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
He's watched the Rocky movies over 150 times. That's right, it may be surprising, but Rocky is one of Eminem's favorite movies? Apparently, rumor has it that during a period when he was struggling with addiction, he used to watch it almost daily. During that time, it's said that he watched it well over 150 times, something that was no doubt a source of comfort for him. Curious about what it's like to be around Eminem when he's watching this movie? Though we can't be sure, it definitely seems like it was a dark period during his life. And it's likely that he was not in the right frame of mind to be doing much else but watching this movie obsessively. Maybe that's where he learned dog determination that he's been known for. It's definitely possible, and either way, it's a fascinating story to think about. But speaking of dark times, Eminem once pulled a gun on fans who showed up to his home. Being the hip-hop GOAT, Eminem always had people trying to get to him. Eminem was allegedly faced with a pretty serious home invasion situation. When fans decided to show up to his home unannounced, it seems like Slim Shady decided to do something pretty shady, allegedly even pulling a gun on the group. And that's not all. Although Eminem has been pretty anti-Second Amendment throughout his career, he's also been known for owning guns. And one time, it's said that he actually pulled a gun on his ex-bodyguard in a dispute over some money. Talk about a controversial situation.
I'm walking down the stairs. I show him my hands. I said, I need to talk to you. I got my hands here. I need to talk to you. He jumps out the truck. He pulls his shirt up. He's brandishing at me.
It must have been pretty scary for everyone involved, especially seeing as this guy is one of the most well-known rappers in the world. But Eminem has also been on the receiving end of it too. He got shot at while walking to his girlfriend Kim's house as a teenager. Another absolutely crazy circumstance for young Marshall. According to Eminem, he was shot at one day as he walked into her house. Still, he managed to survive without getting shot, and it's said that he found a sense of humor in the situation as well. This definitely shaped his career, and might have also shaped his claimed hatred of guns and the Second Amendment. But that's not the only thing from Eminem's past that he can't forget. This man was still paying for his trailer in his hometown while creating banger albums. When you look at the successes that Eminem has had in his career, you would probably guess that he was pretty well off from the beginning. Surprisingly though, in an interview he revealed that when his debut album came out, he was still making payments on his trailer. In fact, it wasn't until a later LP came out, or when 8 Mile did, that he was finally able to pay it off.
This whole crowd looks suspicious. It's all dudes in here, except for these bitches.
That means for at least 2 years, Marshall was still making payments on his small trailer. Talk about living a much harder life than you would have expected. From driving a beat-up car to addiction and making payments month to month on his trailer, Marshall has certainly been through a lot. But that's nothing to when Eminem was forced to drop out of high school. Part of the reason that Eminem may have struggled so much in school is that he ultimately failed 9th grade 3 times before he was finally forced to drop out. Of course, if this doesn't surprise you, maybe it's because you've heard about all of the struggles that he went through with his mother and stepfather as a child. It seems like these problems were part of what made him want to quit school and pursue music as a career. Something that he clearly had a lot of talent in. It's no surprise that once he dropped out of school and started making music seriously, he quickly turned into one of the biggest names in the business. It probably would have been pretty difficult to imagine him becoming so successful while still going through school just like everyone else. And it just goes to show that sometimes it pays off to be different. But not going to school got him involved with illegal substances at an early age.
I think once I took my first Vicodin, it was just like this feeling of, like everything was not only mellow, but didn't feel any pain. It just kind of numbed.
Eminem had to secretly get help from Elton John for his addiction problems. Probably one of the craziest things about Marshall's career is how he was able to get help from people like Elton John after he dropped out of high school. After he left school, Marshall was struggling with addiction problems that almost cost him his life on several occasions. And it's said that John was one of the ones who helped him get through these tough times. Apparently, Elton John helped guide him for several months, keeping him on track and helping him get clean.
When I was going through a rough time with, drugs and things like that, and when I decided I wanted to get clean, I reached out to him because I knew that, he had went through a similar thing.
Luckily, Elton did help him because Eminem's mother wasn't as supportive. And speaking of good old mother Slim Shady, this next one will surprise you. Apparently, his own mother sued him for defamation because of the line, "My mother does more dope than I do." Nothing seems to be off limits when it comes to rap lyrics, but there is a limit you can cross. If a rapper says something about someone and it's deemed to be false or hurtful, then they can be sued for defamation. This was the case for Marshall with his mother, who did not take too kindly to him announcing part of his childhood in one of his songs.
When you can't go to the mob for being spit on and being called, you disgusting pig, it's sad because people are passing judgment by listening to Marshall's songs.
That's right, she decided to sue her son because he said, "My mother does more dope than I do" in one of his songs. Of course, you wouldn't exactly expect a good relationship between them after all that Marshall went through as a kid, but it's still pretty shocking. The fact that she would go so far as to sue her own son is pretty incredible, and this story just goes to show how complicated things can get in the world of rap. Yikes, talk about awkward family Christmas dinners, right? That makes talking about politics during holidays seem like a cakewalk. Eminem's life is a pretty crazy one, but honestly, most rappers live a wild life. And if you want to hear more about them, then watch this next video on the screen.
Hey man, bro, what the fuck y'all got going on, man?
Yeah, holy shit, it's Future. Hey, yeah.
Man, yeah, y'all can't be back here, man.
No, don't get me wrong. I just want to do this song. It's weight loss.
Man, it better be good, bro. Go ahead.
All right, let's do it. Come on. All right, hold on. Whoa. I'm too sexy for this ham, too sexy for this lamb, too sexy for the clam, too sexy for this rice, too sexy for that sandwich. Yeah. I'm too sexy for those fries, too sexy for those pies. I've got to exercise.
No.
No, what? Come on, you didn't like it?
Get out.
Oh, I was dropping some serious bars back there.
Get out. Where do I need to call security, man? Get the fuck out.
I would have thought at least I got,
get out.
Signed or something. Yeah, let's go, Stewie.
A couple of months ago, a remix of Kanye West's 2019 song Use This Gospel was released featuring Eminem. And a lot of people, they became all excited and said, oh, Eminem's now a Christian. And the song went to the very top of the Billboard's Hot Christian Songs chart. today. And mind you, I'm not going to be talking about any of Eminem's old songs. I used to be a rapper myself for almost 20 years. I was in hip hop. So I know what that world is like. I know that you can write completely demonic material and then become a Christian. It happened to me, which is why I would like to examine only his more recent material. In the 2022 Elvis movie that came out, Eminem is featured on the soundtrack, him and CeeLo Green, and the song is called The King and I. And I was planning on playing a snippet of the song, but actually it's so vulgar that I would rather not pollute you all's ears. Instead, I would rather just read some of the lyrics from Eminem on this very recent song, relatively. And I'm quoting Eminem right here, and I don't give a blank about a thing you say. I just want to feel like a king again. And if you don't like it, you can sit and spin, middle fingers up. We about to do this blank again. Now, believe you me, that's one of the more tamed sections of the song. As for the most recent material that Eminem has released, Curtain Call 2 is the second greatest hits album by Eminem, and it was released in August of this year. And here is the official album's cover, Curtain Call 2, with Eminem doing the devil horns, the one eye, all of this satanic imagery. The very same image is also Eminem's Twitter profile pic, as well as the background. And as of just a couple of weeks ago, here's what's being promoted on Eminem's Twitter account. And as you see, it's vulgarity. Now, I feel as though I have a unique authority regarding this subject because, once again, I used to be a hip-hop artist. I know what the world is like. And I think it's important to note how Use This Gospel is a remix of a Kanye West song and not a solo song from Eminem. That's very important for this subject because I participated and collaborated on many subject matters that I had no personal dealings with in real life. I would receive songs from other artists and they would ask me to talk about Maybachs or Lamborghinis and all of these different jewelry, whatever it was, things that I did not particularly live and I rarely ever talked about, but I would rap about them for the sake of the song, the artist, and to reach a broader audience. I couldn't even remember writing Christian songs back then. As an atheist, I remember writing Christian songs, and I just thought, well, if I die and there's a heaven, I'm going to heaven and all of this. Well, with all of that being said, I would like to give a challenge to any in whom believe that Eminem is a true Christian. Try to find any public post or profession outside of this verse on Use This Gospel Remix where Marshall Mathers is promoting the gospel. I dare any of you to find anything where he's talking good about Jesus. I tried to find such material. I searched on all the most recent Eminem news. I could not find a single bit of Christian material. Quite the opposite, as a matter of fact. 2 Timothy 3:5 in Scripture tells us this, that many have a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof. From such turn away. Now, this is talking about the latter days evil that's going on in our world today, especially. They have a form of godliness. How many people profess to be Christians? How many call Jesus Lord? While simultaneously denying the power of the Holy Ghost to change their lives. This is very similar to what Jesus told the unbelieving Pharisees in his day. This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In the book of James, we read a stern warning. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. How many people deceive themselves into believing that they're going to heaven? I did this for years, up until the time I was 28 years old, back in August 2012. I remember I had posters up of Tupac and weed and women in bikinis all over my wall, and I had writings up. I let my atheist buddies, they could write anything up, and I professed to be a Christian at that time, the whole time pretty much. But I remember within 24 hours of me being saved, I took all those posters down. They disgusted me, and I didn't even know why. I was all new to everything about the Christian life. All I knew was that it all seemed so dirty to me. So I went to Walmart and I bought the whitest paint that I could find. I remember this. And then I came home and I painted everything white. I immediately gave up on writing any more vulgar songs. My point is that whenever you truly give your life to Christ, you'll see a drastic change. And I'm going to close with the words of Christ right here. Matthew 7:15-16. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
So, all right, y'all know we on our way up out of here. Thanks for tuning in to Team DWC presents Spider Pig. Y'all make sure y'all check out the links in the description, and always hit the buy me a coffee so y'all can help support the channel. Sign up or donate, whichever one y'all want to do. That's on y'all.